Hi, I'm Advanced Fitness and Wellness Specialist Kimberly Lou, and welcome to my Personal Freedom Program, a complete guide to eliminate destructive patterns and unlock the ultimate you. Now, before we get started on this week's lesson, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, like, do you feel like you have enough energy throughout the day, or do you feel like you're just barely making it and going to bed, getting 8 hours of sleep, and then waking up and feeling like, I gotta do it again? Or do you feel like, you have the potential for full energy, but you just don't know how to get it? Now, a lot of times my clients come up to me and they say, Kim, I used to have all this energy and vitality. Now I'm burnt out. I'm barely making it. What can I do to get my vitality back and feel amazing again? So today we're going to be talking about 8 things that drain your energy, as well as tips and solutions on how to eradicate that. Let's get started. Okay, what I've done is I've written down the 8 most common things that drain your energy. We're going to go through them one by one, and then I'm going to give you solutions on how to eradicate that. So let's get started. Now, the number one thing is closets, drawers, cars, even your computers. Now, we walk into our home and they can be very cluttered. That can drain your energy. Number 2, your environment. If you're sitting under fluorescent lights all the time at work, or if you're going into a bar, people are smoking and drinking, that can also drain your energy. So we want to find ways to combat that. Number 3, one of the most important things that you want to know is that people will drain your energy. You want to be very mindful who you surround yourself with. 4, routine. If we don't have a schedule, we waste our energy, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Okay, number 5, nutrition. You want to be very mindful of what you put into your body. If I put a bunch of sugar in my gas tank in my car wouldn't work. The same goes with your body, so you want to be very mindful of that. Number 6, exercise. Either too much exercise or not enough can cause you to have energy drains. Number 7, sleep is very, very important. We'll talk about that in a moment. And 8, one of the most important things about your energy is your thinking. Thinking is one of the number one things that drain your energy. So we want to retrain your brain, teach you how to think, create a new mindset so that you can have a mindset and body built to last. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about closets, drawers, cars, and computers. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're going to talk about number 1, the closets, drawers, cars, and computers. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you feel when you walk into your home? Does it feel inviting and warm, or does it feel like, oh my gosh, I feel a little chaotic in here? If that is the case, you probably have some closets, some clutter going around in your house. Now, check your closets. And how do they look? Are they just stuffed to the gills, or are they super clean? Again, also your junk drawers. Are they just piled full of crap, or is it organized chaos in there? And then you also want to look in your car, your work, your desk, even on your computers. A lot of times people have all this clutter all over their life and they wonder why they can't think straight. It's because you have so much going on. Now, I have a story for you. I remember a client coming to me and she said, Kim, every time I walk into my closet in my bedroom, I feel like I have anxiety. I don't know why. Then she said, Kim, can you please come with me and help me clean out my closets? Now, I'm not a professional closet cleaner, but I love this woman, so I wanted to help her. So I went to her house and I walked into the closet and I could feel it too. Like I walked in there, I could feel lots of, even though the closet was clean, it just felt like, I didn't feel comfortable in there. So I said, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on in your closets? Tell me, do you like these clothes that you're wearing? What's going on? She said, well, this is the gown that my mom passed away in. As a matter of fact, here's the blood stain on it. And they cut it off of her. And I was like, oh my God. And she said, my brother passed away and here's all of his obituary pictures and things like that. And my sister just passed away, so I have all of her obituary things too. And oh, by the way, these are the outfits that they used to wear. And I thought, holy moly, every time you walk into your closet, all you can think about is death. Your mom passed away, your sister passed away, your brother passed away, and not only that, not only do you have the clothes that they were wearing, but you have all of their obituaries. We need to get this crap out of here. So what we did was we went through her closet. We started to clean out everything that represented her, her mother's death, her brother's death, her sister's death. So we cleaned all that out. And then also I said to her, any type of clothes that you do not feel fabulous in, let's get rid of it. And I even tell this to my daughter, if you don't feel good in it, let's get it out, because why would you wear clothes that you don't feel good in? Now let's come to bite me in the butt a little bit, because she's like, Mom, I don't like that. I just bought it. I don't care. I don't like it. Okay, get rid of it, because if you don't feel fabulous in it, let it go. So to bring the story back, sometimes I get on a tangent. To bring the story back though, we cleaned out her closet. We got everything that represented her brother, her sister, her mother's death, and put it in the garage where it was up above. We got rid of most of those clothes that her mother was wearing and all the junk that she didn't need anymore. She donated about 8 bags to the Goodwill. When you walked into her closet afterwards, you could tell it just felt amazing. Another story is in my own life and in my own closets. I clean out every drawer, even junk drawers, my closets, even my home. It has to feel amazing, because guess what? This is my safe sanctuary. If it does not feel good when I walk home, when I come home, then I'm not going to be any good to you or anyone else when I'm going out there and helping people. I have to clear that energy so that I can feel clean and clear and ready to serve you. Next, we're going to get on step 2. Okay, number 2 is your environment. Now, your environment is very important. You want to make sure that if you're working 8, 10, 12 hours a day and you're under those fluorescent lights, you want to take regular breaks to get outside to refresh your energy. Now, studies have shown that nature is one of the key components to making sure that you have your vitamins and nutrients, as far as like being out in the dirt and soil. So get outside under some trees, take a nature walk, get some vitamin D for the sun. These are all important things. So we want those hot, fluorescent lights, those hot lights. I'm just going to say hot lights. We need nature. Sun. Get outside. What that's going to do is it's going to feed you and give you the energy that you need so that you can come back and get more work done. Another environment that we want to be mindful of are bars. Now, when we go out to a bar and we have fun, that's great, but think about it. A lot of bars, they still have smoking and they have a lot of drinking. So these are kind of some of the things that when we put them into our body, we inhale secondhand smoke. Even these e-cigarettes these days, we want to be mindful of the secondhand smoke that we're inhaling with that. So just be mindful of the different bars and cigarettes, I don't even know how to spell it, and alcohol environments, because again, we're going to go over in step 3, which is people. A lot of times we have low energy people that are hanging in these kind of environments. So it doesn't mean that you don't want to go out and have a good time. Just be mindful on where you go and how, and who you associate with. Okay, next we're going to go into step 3, which will be people. Okay, number 3, people. Now, people will drain your energy if you let them. I call them energy vampires. Now, have you ever sat next to a coworker or a family member or a person where you felt fine before you went to see them and afterwards you just felt exhausted? Well, they took your energy. They sucked the life right out of you. And there's a lot of energy vampires out there, so you want to be mindful and you want to kind of pay attention. Now we're going to determine what is an energy vampire. Okay, so an energy vampire is someone who gossips all the time, really has nothing nice to say about people. They complain about everything. They want you to feel sorry for them. And they'll do certain things to get your sympathy or attention, or they were always complaining about what's wrong with them or an ailment or an injury. Also, negative talk. Sometimes people have self-negative talk, but that's kind of different because we all kind of have that negative talking that's going on in our mind sometimes. But these people have nothing nice to say about themselves or anyone else. Also, somebody who doesn't have boundaries. where you're saying no, but they just don't hear it. So these are the characteristics of someone who is an energy vampire. Now, you can't avoid them all the time. Sometimes it's your mom or your mother-in-law, or sometimes it's a friend or a family member or a boss or coworker, and you can't get away. But some of the things that you can do to eliminate your, experience with these energy vampires is you want to figure out what your boundaries are and stick to them. Stick to your boundaries with energy vampires, because they will find ways to make you wrong for setting a boundary. But it's okay. They can be mad, and it's okay to know that they might have a big emotion because you're not co-signing their BS. But guess what? You'll have more energy as a result. Now, if somebody's gossiping, get out. If they're complaining, say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Change the subject. That's another tool, another solution. You can easily change the subject to something like a TV show or something. If they want you to feel sorry for them, say, oh, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. That's what I say all the time. And then if they're negative self-talk, a lot of times they want you to say, oh, no, you're not fat. Just kindly excuse yourself and move and go on to your next place, because here's the deal. These negative self-talkers, they just want you, again, to feel sorry for them. And so a lot of times it's not good. So there you have it. People, energy vampires, they're gossiping, they're complaining, they're feeling sorry for themselves, trying to get sympathy from you, negative talk about themselves and others. And of course, the number one thing you want to do with those energy vampires is limit your time with them and also set boundaries. Okay, now we're going to go into step 4. Okay, we're going to touch a little bit on planning today, but I have dedicated a whole entire video. I have included the link down below for your viewing pleasure based all on planning. But for now, we're just going to touch lightly on it. So we want to make sure that we have that schedule. So I used to ask myself, how can I fit my workouts, my self-care plan into my busy life? Now what I do is I ask myself, how can I fit my busy life into my self-care plan? What that does, it allows me to make sure that I'm getting my proper read, write, and meditate, my proper exercise, my meal times, and then everything else is scheduled within that so that I have enough time to take care of myself so that I can sustain and have the energy to take care of other people. So planning, we want to make sure we plan our morning routine, meals, exercise, and then we have our bedtime routine. So what we do is when we do that, we create a beautiful plan so that we can sustain and maintain our energy. Okay, next we're going to get into step 5, which is nutrition. Okay, step 5, nutrition. Again, I don't want to put crap into my car, into my gas gauge, because then my engine, it'll blow up. It won't work. The same goes with your body. Now, I get it. You're busy. You're tired. You're reaching out for different things to try to give you that energy that you so desperately want, like caffeine, sugar, and a lot of carbs. But we're going for the very things that are tearing our bodies down. So I'm not saying not to have these things. What I am saying is let's add some healthy nutrition. And again, I have a whole chapter dedicated just on nutrition on the link below. Also, it's in another video. But for now, I'm just going to go over the basics. You want protein? Chicken. If you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry, go get some tofu. Steak. I like steak. I don't like to stay away from steak. It makes me feel good. And tofu for those vegetarians. These are great sources of protein. And then we want healthy fats like olive oil, coconut oil, even ghee, grass-fed butter. These are beautiful fats that will help sustain. Now, fat is an emulsifier, so you want the fat to be able to draw in the nutrients of your food. If you're eating everything fat-free, you're not going to get the satiation, first of all, so you're going to be hungry, but then you're not getting the nutrients that you need in order to create a well-oiled machine. I call it a rocket ship. Okay, and then we want carbs, but we want the right kind of carbs. So what are good carbs? We have fruits, veggies. We can even have sweet potatoes. You can cook these with some coconut oil or olive oil, put some salt and rosemary. These actually taste like a nice little snack. You know, I'm not saying that you have to eat this perfectly all the time, but you want to try to get a little bit of 3 ounces of protein, maybe 1 tablespoon of fat, and about 1/2 cup cooked carbs like oatmeal, fruits, veggies, sweet potatoes, things like that, that are going to sustain you and actually be the right kind of fuel to get you to where you want to go. And now every day, I also want to make sure that I have a nice little snack. So we have almonds. We have hummus. These are all really beautiful snacks that you can have that actually will satiate you and make you feel full. Now, again, I have a whole video on nutrition, but for right now, this is just a condensed version. Just make sure that you add healthy foods into your body, and then your body will take you to the moon. Next, we're going to go over step 6, which is exercise. Let's get started. Okay, energy drain number 6 is lack of exercise or too much exercise. So we want to create a balance. Now, oftentimes I have those type A individuals, right, where they're working all of the time. By the time it's time for their self-care program, they have nothing left to give themselves, and then they just get drained. So what we need to do is we need to start implementing, slowly at first, the kind of exercises that will allow the body, the adrenals, to kind of relax. So in the beginning, when you're first starting out with your exercise, you want to do moderate cardio. What is cardio? Cardio is like walking, elliptical. That's like when you just kind of go like this with the leg thing. Okay, bike. Or even you could go for a hike out in nature. The adrenals love steady state cardio. Now, sometimes people can get really bored with this cardio, but it's what the adrenals love when they are burnt out. Some people would do a restorative yoga class. Things like that. Now, what happens is people that go from no exercise to 1,000%, they go, they burn out their bodies, and then within 2 weeks, they quit their program. So what we want to do is when we start implementing an exercise routine or program into your new lifestyle, if you haven't exercised in a while, we just want to add some cardio in. Very moderate walking, 3 to 5 days a week. The body loves this. Then what you want to do is you want to add weights. So we want to add weights to help with bones, your muscles. It also helps with, losing weight, things like that. Because when you have more muscle, now women, don't worry, we're not talking about big muscle, but when you gain more muscle, then for each pound of muscle, you're burning 50 more calories a day. So we want to build that muscle, and then that's going to give you that leaner look. So we want to add weights in. And of course, I have some videos on how to work out, especially if you're just first getting started. So don't worry, I've got your back. But just, to give you a little emphasis of what's going on here. So your exercise, we want to do, if you're just starting your program, moderate cardio for a couple of weeks. Then you start adding weights into your program. I like to lift weights Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I do cardio on Tuesday and Thursday. What that does is it gives me 5 days to really start to move my body and create the energy field that I love. Okay, so that's exercise. Next, we're going to be talking about step 7, which is sleep. Sleep is very important. Okay, now we want to talk about step 7, which is sleep. Sleep is one of the most important parts of your program. You got to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single day. Now, Harvard studies have shown that the best times to sleep are from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's for your brain recovery. And then 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And that is your body recovery. So it's important, if you can, to try to get to sleep at 10 o'clock in the evening and wake up at 6 a.m. Also, a lot of times people are burning the candle at both ends. So you want to make sure that you find ways to rest your body. A good way to do this is to lay down, even if you can't sleep, and get your feet up. What that does is it starts to drain all the blood in from your legs and get it back to the heart. What that does is it starts to calm down that central nervous system, calm down that fight or flight response, and then you're able to sleep. Some other great ways to make sure that you can get sleep are to make sure you turn your electronics off 2 hours before bedtime. I know it's hard to do, but you want to make sure that that screen light isn't keeping your brain open. And what happens is it stimulates your brain, and then what happens is it won't be able to go to sleep. Also, it's kind of like what I do for my daughter is create a nighttime routine. She takes, she has dinner, we take a walk, we take a bath, we read books, we talk, and then I play some music and she goes to bed. Well, we're no different. We need that nighttime routine to get us in the ritual of making sure that we go to bed on time. So sleep, very, very, very important to your energy gains. Next, we're going to talk about step 8, which is your thinking. Last and final step is your thinking. Now, your thinking is the biggest component to your energy recovery program. Now, oftentimes we have belief systems that keep running. It's kind of like a computer, right? If I have my laptop up and I have 10 different programs going on and I can only see one, I still have those 9 other programs that are running, draining my battery. Well, your thinking and your belief systems are no different. And again, in the beginning of this video series, I created 2 whole videos, very long videos, on belief systems and how to unpack them. I will include them in the link below. But for right now, we have your thinking. We want to make sure that we get it on the right plane. How do we do that when we're programmed, when we're designed to think of something negative? Well, we start with affirmations. 1, affirmations, not affirmations, affirmations. We want to make sure that we're asking why questions. Why am I so lucky? Why is my life so amazing? Because if I sit there and say, I'm so lovable, I'm wonderful, and we're saying these affirmations, you're at a subconscious level, unconscious level, your body's going, BS, I don't believe that. So it just makes you weaker. So we want to make sure that we're asking ourselves positive questions like, why am I so lovable? Then the brain gets right into that unconscious mind, gets through all those filters, and gets into the solution. Brain loves solutions. So one way to start thinking positively is to start asking yourself positive questions. But not any positive questions. You want to ask why questions. Why is very important. And you can say, what can I do, and everything else, that's great, but your body loves and your brain loves to answer the question why. But most people say, why me? And that's when therein lies your energy drain. So why am I so lucky? Why am I so lovable? Why am I so amazing? Also, we want to get into gratitude. Gratitude is one of the best ways to get out of depression. They've done studies. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on everything that's going right. What is going right in my life? Well, I had some food in the refrigerator. I have some change in my pocket. Actually, I have some support. How many people do not have these things? They did a study. I think if you have some change in your pocket and a little bit of food in the refrigerator, you're richer than 96% of the population. So we forget these things, especially when we start to compare ourselves to the Joneses. So we want to bring it back and start competing with ourselves, not with the Joneses. A lot of times my daughter, she loves to swim, and they wanted to put her on a swim team. And I won't let them do it, not yet, because, I don't mind if they have like a thing where they compete against time, where she can compete against herself. But when you start to compete against other people, you start to realize and feel like I'm not enough. So that being said, when I can compete against the time, then, that's for me, in my opinion. Now, no offense if you're in a competition, I totally get it. But that being said, we want to compete with ourselves, not with the people in front of us. And then we want to come into step 3. 3 is reading, writing, and meditation. When we do these things first thing in the morning, we start to plant new seeds into our unconscious mind. Read something empowering, write about it, and then meditate on that. What that's going to do for 5 minutes, a total of 15 minutes, you're going to start planting seeds into your unconscious mind, and then watch how they grow. There you have it as far as your thinking. 3 simple things to say. Ask yourself positive why questions. Get into gratitude. What am I so thankful for? What do I have that, I'm just so lucky. I'm so blessed to have food in the refrigerator, a roof over my head. I have some friends, a support system. And then when we wake up, we read, write, meditate, 5-5-5, 15 minutes every day, just to plant your new seeds in. One last tip that you can do also is, if you start to have a negative mindset, you start to think negatively, get outside, go for a walk, and be of service to someone. When we're so focused on our lives, we kind of tend to become narcissistic. So we want to make sure that if we want to start feeling good about ourselves, if we want to have self-esteem, we do esteemable acts. Open the door for somebody. Maybe write somebody a note and let them know that you care about them, and don't even let them know it was from you. Do little things to get your head out of your butt, wipe the poop from your eyes, and see other people that are in front of you who may need your help. Not the energy drains though. Help people who need it. But that being said, affirmations, gratitude, reading, writing, and meditate, and then be of service. When you do nice things for other people, you feel good about yourself. Okay, so there you have it. 8 steps to create more energy. Now again, we want to clean the clutter in our closets, our drawers, and our cars, even our computers, and especially our pantries. All that nasty food that you don't want to eat anymore, get it out, throw it away. Make room for new to come in. You'll be glad you did. Step 2, you want to be mindful of the environment that you surround yourself. If you're in an office filled with like fluorescent lights, we want to make sure we get out, get into nature. You can even bring nature into you, making sure you bring some plants or something green to make you feel better. Step 3, people, energy vampires. Set boundaries and limit your time with these people, because let me tell you something, they will drain that energy. Step 4, we want to create a plan and a routine so that we know what we're doing and we don't waste precious energy on figuring out what to do. Step 5, nutrition. Put some good, healthy food into your body. Whatever you put in is what's going to come out. Step 6, either, if you're exercising too little or too much, you want to create a happy, healthy balance. If you're just starting your exercise program, for a couple of weeks, just start some moderate cardio. Add your weights in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Cardio on Tuesday and Thursday. You'll be good. Then you want to work with your sleep. Your sleep is very important. Now you want to make sure you're getting sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. if you can. Completely understand if you can't, but try to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per day to refresh your brain and your body. And step 8 is your thinking. Try to find ways to ask yourself positive why questions. Why am I so amazing? Why am I so lovable? Why is everything working out for me? Then you want to do your reading, writing, and meditating. Read for something inspirational for 5 minutes, write about it, and meditate on it. 15 minutes in the morning, if you can, 15 minutes at night. Boy, that's setting in some positive seeds for your new life and your future. And then also you want to be of service. Get your head out of your butt and help someone else. It's not just you out there. There's a lot of people who really are struggling out there. They want to do better, but they don't have the tools. Share the 8-step process with them and send them over to my YouTube channel, Kimberly Lou, or my website, kimberlylou.com, for ways on how to combat these energy drains. It's super important to create a community so you don't have to do this alone. So there you have it, the 8 steps. Share it with your friends. Send them to my website, kimberlylou.com, or you can like and subscribe if this video helps you out in any way on my YouTube channel, and share it. We want to make sure that we're getting this information out to the community. It's my gift to you. It's my love projects. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. We're going to work it out together.